Most of us don't have much idea of what real-life police work involves. Maybe imagining it as Bobby's on the beat or like an episode of The Bill, all drugs busts and car chases. Now though, Warwickshire Police have launched a groundbreaking initiative to give the public a first-hand view of what modern-day policing is all about. They've recruited people from the area to join their Citizens Academy, the first in the Midlands and thought to be the first in the country. Following a successful pilot scheme, 30 volunteers from varied backgrounds, including black and ethnic minority or BME communities, have signed up to attend a 10-week hands-on course a night a week in Leamington Spa. It's designed to bring policing alive for them and underline the crucial role played by the public. The course deals with the sharp end of policing, from detecting cybercrime to managing antisocial behaviour. Specialist firearms officers explain the tight regulations that govern their work and how every single round fired has to be accounted for later. In one of the most vivid demonstrations, they showed the different weapons in their armoury and how tasers are used to stop criminals in their tracks.
50,000 volts.
The last academy that I was involved in presenting the certificates at the end was a really uplifting experience, really warm feedback from the participants. They got so much out of it, their knowledge of what the police actually do was so much better. And a large proportion of them have become specials, become volunteers for us and the like, or have joined sort of citizens panels that are engaged with the police. So I mean, we are definitely getting some huge benefits from this as well, but I'd like to think that the people that are coming on the academies are getting an awful lot out of it. And another positive aspect was the breadth of the people. You know, we had people from their early 20s up to their 80s. You know, high proportion of women came on the academy. We had people from BME backgrounds. We had people who had recently emigrated into the UK, wanting to know more about society and policing in the UK. So it was a really broad mix, which I think is great.
If everybody remembered last week, we talked about breath, the legal limit for breath being 35, legal limit for blood being 80, urine 107.
Course member Julie Brown's a busy mum and already involved in numerous voluntary activities, but the academies helped her realise a lifelong ambition.
Basically, when I was 20, I really wanted to join the police, but when I was in my 20s, I was just too nervous and I didn't have the confidence to do it. So I just had to make do with watching The Bill and various other things on the television. But quite recently, I noticed on their website that this Citizens Academy was due to start in the September of last year. And I thought, it's great, I want to apply.
So what do you think was the best thing that you got out of it?
A greater understanding of what the police do, and especially what up above have cut to them. You know, so you're listening to people saying, oh, the police don't do this, the police don't do that. Well, actually, they do it a lot for what budget they have got, you know, and in this area, they only have so many police to actually function a whole county. But you don't understand that until you actually did this course. So yeah, I have a great respect for the police. So I applied to become a police special. I'd been talking to the police commissioner and the chief inspector, and they sort of inspired me to apply. My confidence has increased a hell of a lot. Go for it. Just do it. If you really want to do it, you've got nothing to lose. It'll be a great 10 weeks where you'll get to learn about everything what the police do in your area.
For many, the highlight of the course was the visit from dog handler John Hankinson and his canine charges. First up, his German Shepherd cross, Zeus.
He's the typical German Shepherd length, German Shepherd height, but he's the Belgian Mallee colour and the build, hence why he's slim. It's not because I don't feed him, but the thing that gives him the character, and they say at work he's the Scooby-Doo, is the wonky ear. That ear has never stood up, and I think if it ever did, he would lose that appeal. Speak. 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 Good boy enough. So, but well, I say, compare that to a shepherd, it's what I call a little boy's bark. But if you're a criminal and you're faced with him, the size of him and whatnot, and he's pure muscle, he's as strong as he's the strongest dog I've ever handled.
While the course members examined the padded arm guard used to train Zeus to bring down criminals, including gunmen, John fetched his sniffer dog Rio to track down a suspicious package.
So this is Rio. I've handled him now just over 6 years. He came to me. He came already trained because we'd had him earlier on and another handler had him, and then decided he didn't want to do the drugs training anymore and work in the pictures like I showed you earlier, some of the environments. Putting the harness on and clipping it too is part of his trigger to know that he's got to go into work mode. If you can see that, he's suddenly stopped doing what he's doing. It gives an indication by a passive stare. Once I'm happy that I think he's found something.
For course member Karen Ellis, it's more about cats and chickens. She farms near Harbury and she's been involved in running a rural helpline. She joined the course to learn more about the particular demands of policing in the countryside.
I think because we're such a big area in Warwickshire and, getting from A to B, getting from farm to farm or rural dwelling to rural dwelling is quite difficult. So I think that's a major challenge, and in particular because there are fewer police, as we know. And I think as well the types of crimes are different. There's a lot of theft from farms, diesel, from tanks, livestock even nowadays, and I think that again is a real challenge. So I was really interested in how the police are looking at that, managing that, engaging with the farming community to see what can be done about it basically. And the banter, I think has just made it really good and really friendly, and has really helped us all, I think, to engage more with the police and vice versa. I think the best part, I was thinking about this earlier, and the best part has to be, I think, the dogs, the police dogs. Probably everybody will say that. But I think, the traffic police, when they spoke, the drink driving awareness and drugs, that's been really good as well. The whole thing about cybercrime and our own safety, just in general as citizens, I think it's just all been really interesting, very positive.
The course is funded by the Police and Crime Commissioner's Office, and the new Commissioner is convinced it's here to stay.
Having just taken over as Police and Crime Commissioner here in Warwickshire, this is my first visit to the Academy. I've heard great things before I came, which have been justified and fulfilled tonight. I think it's important for the police, which is often can be seen as remote. I think it's very important to engage with all different communities and indeed all ages. And by the representation here tonight, we've definitely got a good cross-section, and I think this will help the police get their message across, and I think the participants, hopefully to be graduates, will understand some of the challenges facing the police.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know quite until
They're getting something out of it. I think it's a really good exchange of ideas, people who are finding out a bit more about what the police do. The police are able to explain their roles a bit better, and I think it really works for everybody, breaking down some of the barriers, some of the misconceptions about what the police's role is about, and for people just to ask questions, to perhaps gain a bit of confidence, to gain a bit of understanding what the police's role is about. And I think to build up stronger relationships, those citizens who have taken part of this programme can go back into their communities and say, these are guys that we can work with. These are guys who, their job is to look after us, understand what our needs are, understand how we want to be kept safe.
Most of us only ever get to see inside the police custody area if we're arrested, drunk and disorderly, for example. So the group was fascinated by the guided tour from course leader Chief Inspector Faz Chishti.
Everyone go, can you book them all in?
Yeah. Despite the hard-hitting topics covered, the atmosphere was often light-hearted, and tellingly, every member of the group kept coming throughout the 10-week course.
What was an ideal opportunity to open our doors to the public for those people who do not have any interaction with the police. Is an opportunity for people to come and understand how we deliver our services to the communities, how we protect them from harm, but more importantly to understand how policing is delivered and how we serve them.
Good. Vivian McFarlane signed up after she'd realised there were no black course members on the pilot scheme.
I wanted to find out about stop and search and how the police handles complaints. I was able to put the questions that's actually worrying the black community to them and get the correct answers.
Okay, you said that you'll do it by force.
No,
when
that's
you say
it.
by force, what do you actually mean?
I will recommend it to anyone, and then what I'm going to do is try and take it back to the community to reassure them, you know, about the police and their jobs and what they do, and come on the course and see for themselves. Yeah.
If you want me to have a go at shutting the doors, just to see what it's like. Yeah. Normally.
Sorry, I just want the whole experience. Yeah, exactly. Hey, come on. Well, they're not going to be here, so I just want to see what it is like.
Normally, when you put somebody in a cell, they'd have all their jewellery removed, any clothing that's got cords in, any belts, any laces.
Stop attempting suicide.
Yeah.
For Attorney General Jeremy Wright, the MP for Kenilworth and Southam, the course has an important legal dimension.
Well, I think this is a very exciting idea. It's a new idea, but I think what it demonstrates is that if you find an imaginative way of doing it, you can help people to understand much better what the police do for us. And I think what we do here in this country is we police by consent. That's what's often said to us by police officers, and that's entirely right. It's so much better if that consent can be informed consent.
Maria Fennell is CEO of the mental health group Springfield Mind. She joined the course to find out more about police attitudes to mental illness.
I learnt very much that attitudes have changed greatly. Somebody said to me, well, don't you think you've got the cream of the crop in the room? And I don't think so. I think the attitudes, the behaviours, the personalities were very genuine when I met with them. It was really useful to visit the custody suite, having not been in the custody suite for some time with clients, to see how very much improved the facilities are, and particularly for our client group and patients. We spent some time in the special cell, the special observation cell, where great detail had been spent on anti-ligature, or where somebody might be able to harm themselves. All of that was taken into consideration.
Stratford-on-Avon MP Nadim Zahawi joined Maria and a group of her clients at the Springfield Mind Centre to hear about their concerns. He's a strong supporter of the Academy, but what would he say to those who claim it's just a PR stunt to show the police in a good light?
What I would say is try it out. You know, not difficult. The Academy's doors are open. You can either go and observe or engage with it. And I assure you, you will come away feeling that it is seriously thought through, and it is absolutely a determination of the police force to engage with communities in a much more meaningful way.
Sonia Scrimshire runs her local neighbourhood watch scheme in Hill Wootton. She signed up to the pilot course and was so impressed she's become an enthusiastic advocate for the police and the Academy itself.
The variety was lovely, actually. Policing in the community, dogs, firearms, intelligence. Going down to the cell block was a fantastic evening. Taking people's liberty away is quite something, and they have to be most particular on how they do it, when they do it, etc. It was great, and I would recommend that anyone who's interested or curious should come along and join this really good course. It was a fantastic 10 weeks.
The culmination of the course, graduation evening for the 30 Academy members plus their friends and families, and the scores of officers who made it happen. Some of the course members are now taking on roles within the force, as specials, community advocates, or applying to join the police full-time. Others are simply more engaged and knowledgeable about just what the police do. There was a tangible sense of pride as they received their certificates from the Chief Constable. And the Academy's proved so successful, it'll be a regular fixture from now on, with the next course starting in the new year.